Hello buddy, my name's Fireman and welcome back to another vlog. So, we are back here with the JD 2140 because I have some updates to do. So, this tractor is currently set up for the baler. I have had to make a few adjustments. So there was a bolt sort of this long in this hole and it had clamped this sort of drawbar right up for some weird reason. So I've had to cut that off and get a new one and put a different one in. This is actually the toe ball hitch because it actually fits the best, and it actually means I can put the pin in. I had one that was too short and the pin wouldn't go through, so I've had to do that. That's all now sorted. So coming a bit further back, I need to grease the PTOs because I haven't done them yet, and I don't think anyone's done them for ages. I had trouble last year with this little pin going into this hole, so I've greased the living fuck out of it, and it's still dead stiff, and I think it's the way that the baler has a flat tyre on this side which is making it annoying. It also has I've also greased this face so it's a bit more flush. The two holes here, I normally put it in this hole, but on the photo in the handbook it's supposed to be in this one. But when it's in this one, it's too far over. You can't actually quite see the chain. You can't see the feed rail too well. So I prefer it in that hole. So I leave it in that one. I've also refitted the little bolt because it fell out of there. I have also given under here a bit of a quick clean. It's not the best, but it's better than it was. This has the sort of plunger arm in, and the rest of the shit is all in the other ones. So this is a Newholland 268 Super Hayliner. Now these balers weren't very popular. I see quite a few people slag these off, saying they were a terrible design and shit. I had no issue with this, and it did about 400 bales. And obviously it did what all of them do. It kicked the odd bale out into a weird shape, but they all do that. So you can't. There's not one that you get that's always perfect. They always have their little quirks, and this one has its own. As you can see, that tyre is about fucked. I have a new tyre upstairs, but they didn't send me a tube. Now this is actually a 616 tyre, so I've got a new one upstairs, and I'm hoping the tread won't hit this. If it does, I'll just have to angle grind a bit off, but the tyres on this aren't supposed to be this size. They're supposed to be a different size, and I'm pretty sure they're supposed to be like a 5 something and a 6. And they are. I actually found the proper tyres for this, and they were 375 quid each, and I thought, fuck that. So it's had a £60 one. If I have to make a few modifications, I have to make a few modifications, but I'm not spending 300 quid on a tyre for a baler because it'll just end up like this. So now I did run a little bit of oil on these chains, as you can see. It isn't actually a lot. It looks a lot, but it's because it's dribbled all down. So what I did is I ran it up at a very slow RPM, and then sort of inside here I just held a paintbrush with some oil on, quite simply because they don't get anything. There's no grease on them or anything. Now I know people say, oh, it's like grinding paste and shit like that, but to be honest, we've got another few months yet. By the time it comes to it, most of it will probably go. It'll just be left with the actual sort of trace on it, and it's my fault if it doesn't do anything. These few little wheels here, all this has been blown out. It was all covered in dust and shit. Ooh, nearly dropped there. I don't like to drop. I'll try and hold the cover not to drop it. I am thinking about restoring this baler at some stage. I don't know when. Probably after the international is done, I'll probably get, because this baler is actually quite, as you see inside, it isn't actually too bad. So take most of it to bits, it'll be quite easy. It's the outside that's the worst. I had the camera wrong way. But anyway, yeah, so sort the inside out there and restore it and whatever. I had the camera facing the complete wrong way. I'm awfully sorry about that. So we have the next thing. This is what I've been working on over the quarantine sort of period, which we are still in. So what I've done is I've got the original chute off here. I've taken the chains off. The chains are here, and I am going to make so the chains can go back on, but very, very loose, so this can float. So what I've done is I've cut this. A friend of mine, or Tom Law, sent me sent me how long this should be. So how long his is. So this is set up for his. Excuse the bird shit welding, it wasn't the best. So underneath here is what it is. To be honest, the welding isn't brilliant because I couldn't actually get in to weld it properly. So, but it's had enough. Let's put it that way. I towed this around the garden in road gear and this did not even move. So there's enough weld on it to hold it. But anyway, it was actually cheaper to do this than order some steel to make a proper one. But we'll see how it goes. So anyway, what I've done is this sort of section here went right to the end. I've cut it and cut it. I've welded this face up and welded all in here. So this is all welded up straight. Removed the bolt to here, so it's now bolted up. I sprayed it in grey just so it didn't rust till I get some New Holland red, and then I'll probably repaint the whole of this chute bit. And the weld dripped into here, and that's all covered up. So what I'll probably do is just sit there with the grinder and clean it all up, put it all through. So then it's got the pinhole here, which puts this pin into here. So this is the road transport mode, which makes when it's in a straight line, the edge of that sledge is actually inside the width of the baler. I'm pretty sure it's the same on the other side as well. So I think it pushes it more over. It does one. I can't remember if it pushes this side closer to the footpath or that side closer to the middle of the road. I really don't know. But it's a fair unit. Yeah, what it does is it flushes up this side. I've just worked it out. This side sits flush with all that side, and this side sort of sticks out, which isn't too bad. I just need to remember that. I also need to fit the wing mirrors to this as well. Now, the wing mirrors to that John Deere are about 150 quid each, and I do not fucking feel like spending that on some wing mirrors. So I think I'm going to get some bar and just make some brackets to fit it on, because I'm not spending 150 quid. It's just not going to happen. So this is the flat 8 sled. This is a Brown's automatic flat 8. Now I did a video when this came new, but I'll just show you. So when I had it, the gate wouldn't close properly. So what I've done is I had to sort of angle grind this at a bit of a smoother section and angle grind this end, and now it's quite good. The only issue it has is when the gate opens, this slams really far down, too far for the gate to actually come back and shut properly. So the next job is find the gap distance on that one and see where it sits happy, and then measure that to the same, weld a block in so it doesn't shut, and then order some springs and then just cut the block off, or cut the little whatever I put in there to hold it. Test it. There are some lambs in that field and some sheep as well. As you can see, the rest of the stuff, PZ mower, hay bob, the hay bob's got the tyres on, the mower is done, it's ready to rock, the digger is still waiting. I'm going to trim all this and weed kill it all again. I quite like it without any grass on there, it looks nice. So yeah, it's getting there, to be honest. I'm slowly getting through this. Last year I didn't use this at all. I've owned it probably about 2 years, or a year and a half. I've owned it a little bit less than the baler. Have I? Yeah. Actually no, I've owned it a few months less than the actual mower and the hay bob. So this never went out last year, but it's going to go out this year because a lot of people wanted it in the 8s. And it makes it easy to collect, so. But yeah, this is all put on. I need to do the new wire on the top there. As you can see, it's a bit slack, so tighten all that up and make sure it's alright. So the next few jobs is tighten that wire up and sort the gate out, make sure it works properly, clean up the welds on that and make sure all that's fine, refit the chains and the new bolts and make sure they're all going to be okay. I've refitted the chains in case I want to use it without a sled for anything, then I have whatever. I've redone the string as well, that goes in and is already up into the knotters. I'm going to cut all the old string off because there's loads of it on the bottom, and cut it all off. And then in here we have the 2 string balls already. These were new last year. There's 2 more in the shed. There should be plenty enough for this year. So behind this panel, ow, is the sort of mechanism, like the arm and that. As you can see, I put a little bit of oil. It looks like a lot because it's been spreading it round, but I put a little bit in there and it's just been rolling it around. It'll dry. I know people are like, oh, it's like grinding paste and shit like that, but the thing is, these things were so dry, when it was running up at a low speed, it just squeaked. So, a little bit of oil won't hurt. These are the main sort of feed claw things to shove it inside the chamber. The next job for this one's missing, and this has actually fell off quite a few times. I took it off last year and ran it without it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill a hole in here, straight through into that one, put a bolt that side, well, a nut, no, sorry, a bolt, a nut this side, a bolt on there, weld it in, and then just drill it through there, and I can just tighten it on. That makes sure it's not going to come off, so I can, Jesus Christ, that one's tight, I can run it the whole system with the covers on, because last year I was running it without the covers, and there was so much shit coming out the back of this, like dust and that. It just wasn't good. This size tyre is okay, bit of air in it. These little ones need a bit of air in them as well, and they'll be all good. I'm kind of not rushing, I'm trying not to rush this video, but it sounds like I am. I've also ordered some new pickup tines, so as you can see, these ones are a bit past it, but there are some missing, and I noticed that when there's some missing, especially on this next row, as you can see, there's a gap there and a gap at the end. It was actually missing when it was trying to pick it up, and you could see it behind the baler, and it just didn't look right. So I've ordered 4 new bolts, and then what I might do is next year recheck, remember which 4 I did, and then rechange them all, because I think they're all about, I think they've all had it really. But I think this baler's had a hard life for the bales that it's done, because it doesn't look like it's done a lot, but I reckon it's had a hammering the lot it's done. So I'm trying to keep it and trying to look after it and things like that. Unfortunately, it can't live in a shed, which is I'd love to build a shed along here, just a big open shed, and just shove everything inside the shed and just leave it. It'd be great, but unfortunately I don't have the money to do that, and there was no shed there, so I'd have to get planning and all the other bollocks. But I'd quite like to do that, and I think I might discuss it. I want to put a shed there for the kit and a shed there for my tractors, and things like that, you know, because it's just what I want to do. But anyway, I'll get back to what we were talking about. John Deere next. This is the next updated thing. So we have got indicators, brake lights and side lights are all fixed. All them are fixed, and it took me 3 fucking days. The wiring in this thing is utterly horrendous, and I think it's from new they're like that. It is such a shit way of wiring anything together. It's got an LED side light, plough light there. We've got 2 more up there which need wiring in and things like that. Because you see there's some flies in there. We will open it up and get in, but the wiring in this is just horrendous. I think it's from new, it's been like, it hasn't been tampered with much. This has got some stickers on, which I don't really want to show because they've got my phone number on. And I know what the internet's like. So, of course, she's running twin beacons as well, like the Ford. So, it's got the new seating, which isn't that old. Now, the red wire there is the beacon lights. I've ran that wire like that, so when I put the new roof in, which won't be too long, I've got a few more things I want to put in. The radio and the speakers is the next job. They're on order, so when they come we'll put the radio in and the speakers, and that means the top roof like the whole interior, the roof can go back in. The floor one could go back in now, but I'm so busy doing everything else I haven't touched it, so it's just kind of been left. But that is the next job is to do then. There's the little table. I had this made off a bloke on Facebook, and to be fair, it's generally quite good. I think it was 65 quid, and it's proper well made. It's all spongy like leather and stuff. It's actually really decent. The only thing I don't like is the handbrake, where the handbrake goes, because it catches your hand on there, but if you're careful it's fine. Cup holder and everything. But yeah, it kind of suits the tractor. I haven't put the side panels back on because we've had to do so much wiring, but it does have indicators and it does have everything else. The next job is kind of the next job for this, not in doing the interior. I don't know when I will be doing, but when I do that I'll have them on. I'll just get in and show you the So the reason this tractor is going to be on the baler, this tractor is going to go mowing on a few places but not all of them. I've kind of decided which ones it's going to go to, and then the Ford's going to go mowing on a few. I kind of don't want to use this and not the Ford, because the Ford's quite nice, but I want to use the Ford. The Ford's going to go on hay bobbing and mower, whereas this is going to go mower and baler. So but yeah, the reason I like it, the baler is like right there, and when you put it to the side you can see it clearly as hell. The Ford, for some reason, seems really weird when you put it on the side. When you put it out to bale, it seems like you can't see a lot. So decided to run it on this, and I can see right to the back. So, but anyway, I'll probably put it on the Ford 1 year. I have got some new customers, so we should be all right this year, and I hopefully want to get a hedge cutter by the end of this year as well, if I can. But anyway, I will leave you with that. Thank you everybody for watching. Leave a like down below if you enjoyed. Subscribe for more today, and I shall see all of you in the next video. Have farming and goodbye.